testosterone production. It's easily one of the most problematic things to deal with as a natural athlete. We don't have the ability to just inject ourselves with super physiological amounts of testosterone to make sure that we have enough to be able to build as much muscle as humanly possible. No, we have to make sure that our sleep is optimized, that our carbohydrates for our diet are optimized, that our fats for our diet are optimized, that stress levels are optimized, that everything is optimized in order to get the most out of our bodies, to make sure that our testosterone is as high as it could possibly be, so that we can get the most gains between shows, so we can have a best package from one show to the next. Then on top of that, while we're actually prepping for each show, we have to worry about making sure that our testosterone doesn't crash over the process of prep. The whole thing is basically a nightmare. But between that and, of course, the insecurities of basically every man on the face of the entire planet, there has sprung up an industry of products available to supposedly help us optimize our testosterone, but they're not named as such. They are named testosterone boosters, and they are easily one of the most controversial sections of the supplement industry. A lot of experts in the field will say that these are useless, wasteful products that don't really actually have any benefit for the vast majority of lifters. Now, I would tend to agree with some of what they're saying, in the spirit of some of what they're saying, but there are some subsections of the industry who could benefit from a lot of these products, but I'm getting ahead of myself. This kind of introduces us to the idea behind this experiment I'm running. It's a bit of a test in more ways than one. The idea here is pretty simple. I'm going to actually put myself through the use of one bottle container run of a particular company's testosterone booster, and I'm going to take as many metrics as humanly possible in order to properly measure if it was effective or if it wasn't. And of course, at the end of the run, I will also talk about if I felt like if it was effective or not. Now, I'll be taking a number of measurements both before, during the entire process, and then afterwards. When it comes to the ones during the process, I'm not going to be taking a large quantity of them, but enough to make sure that we're getting a decent idea as to what's going on. Now, I'll be tracking the weekly progress of this over Instagram. I'll be pretty transparent about it. I plan on posting the first little bit coming up soon, because this literally is going to start as of the day before I've posted this video. I usually post on Tuesday, so if this goes up on Tuesday, it's going to be the day before that. If this video goes up on Wednesday, it's Monday. I'm starting at Halloween, okay? Also, hope you guys had a great Halloween. I didn't dress up as anything because I'm a parent, so I have a child to worry about. And really, all my attention is on them having a good Halloween. My days of dealing with that and really celebrating, enjoying it are done. But I digress. Point is, I'll be taking some metrics to try to keep this as scientific as humanly possible, and then I'll be basically evaluating what I think the actual experience netted at the end of it, whether I think this product is worth it or not. Now, the first one up on the list is Magnum Thrust and Magnum E-Break. Now, I also should mention that I don't plan on just testing one product. If the company has something to deal with testosterone optimization as well as estrogen management, I will be dealing with both, because, and if you don't know this, you should know this now, when testosterone is raised, estrogen often is raised in kind in order to respond to it. Your body is great at balancing things out. So if you just let both of those rise equally, the chances of you seeing much of a difference are kind of minimal, to say the least. But the point is, we want to make sure that we're doing what we can to raise testosterone, minimize estrogen, so we can see if it makes a significant difference. Now, I'll be using E-Break and Thrust from Magnum. Part of the reason for this is because Marcus Callius, who is the CEO of Magnum, is extremely charismatic and wildly optimistic about his products. So when he was talking about how he pretty much guarantees that people will notice a difference, I was like, bet. Let's see if there's actually a difference. I want to know. So we're going to test it to figure it out. So yesterday, I went ahead and I weighed myself. I grappled with my muscle dysmorphia in a very significant capacity. And of course, I took some measurements. The measurements I will also be putting up on screen now. So With those measurements and with my body weight, I will be tracking the body weight weekly, as I usually do. I'll be taking pictures weekly as well. And I also will be taking measurements again at the end of this process. So that'll allow us the ability to see if there have been any significant changes to any of the major areas of concern for a bodybuilder. Now, these products don't tend to work very well for individuals who are already healthy and young and producing optimal amounts of testosterone. But here's the thing, I'm 35 and a dad of a toddler. So this means that I am of the age where testosterone is going to start to kind of decline a little bit. And I'm in a life period where stress levels are just wonderfully elevated to just a degree I never thought possible in my 20s and teens. Good God, you know that deep quantity of stress, that like pit of absolute mind-numbing insanity that you kind of feel like you're in when you're deep in like midterms or finals? You know how it like lasts like around a week where like your head's spinning and you have so many things to do and you just can't keep track of all of it, and it's just coming at you so fast and you feel like you don't have enough time to respond to any of it, and it's just swirling and building, and the pressure is mounting and you have no idea if you can control any of it, and it's all balancing on a razor's edge, and you feel like at a moment's notice it'll all just tip over and everything will just kind of explode in your face if even the slightest thing is done wrong? Yeah, that's me. But like every single day for like 3.5 years. So yeah, definitely feel like I'm not in the category of individuals living the lifestyle where if I don't take any measures or steps, I will have optimal testosterone production. So the areas where I'm significantly lacking: sleep. Oh, easy one to get my ass beat on. That one I just get that I just don't have any control on that one. I know what I'm very comfortable with who and what I am, and I am fucking garbage at that. So I'm gonna call that what it is: sleep, trash, and I know it's one area where I could definitely optimize things to get better. 2, stress levels. We already just spoke about this. It ain't good. So yeah, managing that's going to be great, and these products tend to try to tackle testosterone optimization from that angle in some way, shape, or form. And 3, given the fact that I'm African American and I live in Canada, we are entering into winter. It's like November is like right here. It's right there, and daylight is vanishing rapidly. So getting vitamin D, not the easiest thing for a black dude to do in the middle of winter in Canada. So that's another area where we definitely can see some improvements. So through those vectors, there's definitely some significant improvements that can be made. And Magnum Thrust does actually tackle a lot of those angles. So it promises the deepest sleep you've ever had in your life in like 7 days. It promises you to be the most like virile you've ever felt, which, you know, jury's out, we'll see. They promise that you're also going to get a full dose of ashwagandha with each dose that you get out of this. So that's going to help manage things from the sort of stress vector. So we'll see if that helps at all. It should. Now, there are some concerns I have. Given the fact that I already take vitamin D, ashwagandha, and in relatively large quantities, up until recently, I don't know if this is going to have an impact greater than what I've already seen from just the use of these single ingredients. The other ingredients in there, though they could be helpful, some of which have really conflicting evidence in the scientific community as to their efficacy for the improvement of testosterone production. But we shall see. That's kind of what this experience is all about. This experiment is about trying to figure out if these will have the impact we're looking for them to have in order to truly positively affect testosterone production as a natural athlete in a legal fashion. And of course, for individuals who fit into universes like mine, which are probably more people than you'd think. Because even if you aren't 35 or older, you could very well be living a life where it's fast-paced, it's high stress, there's a lot kind of going on, a lot on your plate, which could pretty negatively impact testosterone production. That combined with a really bad sleeping schedule, you have the recipe for someone who could really use some help to make sure that, you know, you're getting what you need to help optimize testosterone production from the perspective of stress management and sleep management. That being said, you could just get, you know, something like melatonin or whatever and ashwagandha and call it a day. That's not a wrong response to that. But if you were to get something like Thrust, this could still very well be a good answer. The real question is here, will this help beyond just those single ingredients? So that's what we're going to find out, and I'm looking forward to figuring this out. So I'm going to try to keep it short here, cut it right there. What do you guys think is going to happen? Do you have any experience with test boosters? Yay, nay, you liked it, you hated it? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm looking forward to seeing what this has to offer and what this really results in by the end of the month. We'll check back in again at the end of this 30 days. And as always, stay shining, because the galaxy can only be a bright and beautiful place if we all shine together. Peace.